Hey, what is up everyone? With Season 12, we got a brand new Plunder Pass to talk about. So in this video, we're going to do a before you buy guide like we do every season on the Plunder Pass. This season's Plunder Pass is already really good. It's much better than what we saw with Season 11, so I'm excited to get in and start talking about all this. Luckily, I'm able to show you more with this Plunder Pass video than I have been able to in previous seasons just because of the PlayStation beta that happened a few weeks ago. So anyone that participated in it got a free 10 levels added to their season pass on the launch of Season 12. So I'll be able to show you some of the early stuff inside this pass. So the Season 12 Plunder Pass is themed around the Gorgon set. This is similar to like a Medusa looking set, so I'm really into this. I think it's really cool, and I think it's a much better version than what we saw, I think, in Season 3 when we had another Greek theme set. So I'm excited to really get into this. Starting at level 1, you'll get the Gorgon Hole. This hole, I think, is, probably one of the weaker parts of this entire Plunder Pass. It's very basic looking. It has an interesting symbol, I guess, on the side. But the hole just, it's almost so close to like a basic regular hole, like a darker, dirtier version of like a regular hole that, I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea. I don't really have any interest in it too much. At level 5, you'll get your first round of Ancient Coins. For this season, you'll be able to get 750 Ancient Coins from the Plunder Pass, as well as another 250 from the Free Pass. So combined all together, you'll be able to make back all of your Ancient Coins for the full Plunder Pass value. At level 10, we have the Gorgon Cannon Flare. This is a really cool cannon flare. I think I like it better than some of the past Plunder Pass cannon flares that we've seen. This one, basically, when you shoot it, it has these like ghostly effects that are coming off of it. So I think it could go well with a lot of different ship sets. It doesn't have to just be this one. I think it can go well with really any like ghostly or spooky type of set that you want to make. At level 20, you'll get the Creeping Stone Curse. Now, this is the first time we've ever seen a premium curse inside the game. This is the first one that you couldn't unlock like by doing stuff within the game. You have to buy it through the Plunder Pass, of course, and maybe we'll see more like this in, just the Pirate Emporium in general. I'm not the biggest fan of having curses in the Plunder Pass, but what I will say is this is a much better value for the Plunder Pass than, say, like the clothing sets that we got last season. I think in next week's video I'm going to dive more into my thoughts on curses being premium and everything, and like when I think that would be okay and when I don't like it. So keep an eye out for that next week. But let's move on to our next spot at number 23. So at 23, you'll be able to get the Gorgon Flag. This has basically a similar look as the hole with the same symbol and everything. It's okay. Not the biggest fan of it. It's fine. I don't think there's really anything too interesting with it. But, I don't have the highest expectations for flags. I think at this point, the flags are just kind of an extra bonus thing. At level 30, you'll get the Gorgon Wheel. This wheel is really cool looking. It has like Medusa's face in the middle with the snakes coming out from the center. Like this cool little blue gem at the top, and then just like each of the rungs of the wheel are just the different snakes and like the heads of them and stuff. And then I really like the base of this wheel with like the little serpents all coming in at the different corners leading in out from the middle. So all of that is a really nice looking set. Is it the best wheel we've ever gotten for a Plunder Pass? Probably not. I would say it's in the upper ranks, though. I wouldn't say it's the best one, but I definitely think it's up there in some of the top ones. At level 40, you get the Gorgon Headband. Not the biggest fan of this one. I think it's just kind of a little goofy. I don't think I will ever wear it, but if you like it, then have at it. I think it's better than the clothing items that we got last season. I really did not like the clothing items from last season's Plunder Pass, so this is at least a step up in that sense. But I do miss the days when we used to get costumes in the Plunder Pass. I feel like they should have kept doing that instead of trying to do different clothing pieces. I might be alone in that, but that's just my opinion on it. At level 50, you get the Gorgon Cannon. I think this cannon looks really cool. Whether I'll use it or not, that's another question. So for y'all that have been watching my videos for a while now, you know that I typically stick to only a handful of cannons, mainly because I like to have a narrow sight at the end of the cannon. So I don't like any cannons that are like flared up at the end. I don't like ones that are flat barreled. Nothing like that. I really just like having ones with a little sight. And this one is kind of has a little sight, but it's a little bit off too. So it's instead of like having like a little pointed sight, it's really just like a flat piece at the top. And I'm not the biggest fan of that, but if we're talking about just the design in general and not specifically talking about like how to aim with it and everything, I think it looks really cool. I love the little serpent designs that are all over it and just like kind of like the creepy aesthetic, like incorporating all over this cannon. At level 60 we have the Gorgon figurehead. I actually like this figurehead a good amount. Usually I don't typically care too much about the base version of like the figurehead or the sails, but for this Plunder Pass, I think this one is actually pretty nice looking. It's kind of almost reminds me of like a mirror in the center there. It's basically supposed to be like a gem or something. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to represent, but I just happen to like the big like stone diamond shape in the center there. I also like the details that are on the side of it, kind of wrapping around that gold frame. At level 70, you'll get the Gorgon sails. This is fine. I don't have the biggest issue with it, but I wouldn't say it's anything in particular that I find super appealing. I probably will never put it on my ship if I'm being quite honest. So a little disappointing there, but that's kind of what you get with the Plunder Passes nowadays. At level 80, you get the Gorgon Collector's figurehead. This is a pretty cool looking figurehead. However, my biggest issue, and I'm going to bring it up every Plunder Pass until they stop. I did it with the Ancient Coins. If you remember, they used to not give you that many Ancient Coins on the Plunder Pass. It used to be only like 250. And I would complain about it every season. And then eventually, they started making it 750 so that you could take that in combination with the 250 from the free pass and get your full value back for the Plunder Pass. I complained about that for a long time and then they eventually changed it. So I'm going to start complaining about this collector's issue and hopefully they'll change that as well. If you think about it, if we're only going to get, a handful of items for the Plunder Pass, we're not getting like one Plunder Pass item for every single level. We're only getting them every so often. 2 of your items every single Plunder Pass are taken up by basic default versions of stuff that no one's going to care about once they unlock the collector's version. I know I just said that I liked that original figurehead, but it does not compare at all with this one. And then, going a step further, the collector's versions of these figureheads that we do get in the Plunder Pass typically aren't like super highly premium. I mean, I really like this figurehead, right? I could see it as like a Pirate Emporium figurehead. Maybe back when the Pirate Emporium first got introduced and there wasn't, better stuff that was added into it. This is something like, when I think of premium cosmetics, I think there needs to be an extra mile that goes with it. So, for example, with this Gorgon Collector's figurehead, they should have made it so that the snakes are like floating and moving next to it or something, and I don't know, gone the extra mile with it, because when you don't do that, it just seems lazy to me. And I think I would have much preferred if instead of getting just the default versions of these cosmetics, we only got the collector's versions, and then you use those 2 other slots for maybe a emote, or maybe a costume, or literally anything else. So moving on past that, at level 90 you get the Solid Stone Curse. So this curse is pretty cool. I like it a lot, and I like that it can work with, whatever you have. So before, when I first saw this, pro mode for the Plunder Pass, I initially thought that it was a costume, because I didn't think that they were going to put curses in the Plunder Pass. I was wrong about that. I'll fully admit that. But looking at this curse on its own, I think it's really cool. I love like the black eyes that we see. I think that looks really cool and intimidating. I would have liked to have seen maybe like either a version of the Solid Stone Curse where it could maybe be like a darker stone, or have one that's like even more cracked or something, or like, I don't know. It would be really cool if, each time you got hit with damage, it like started cracking your stone or something. There's just like interesting things you could have done with that. I think that would have helped justify it as being a premium Plunder Pass curse. But what we got here, I do like still. I think it's a good curse to have, and it raises the value of the Plunder Pass as a whole. Finally, at level 100, you get the Gorgon Collector Sales. This is another sale. Like, I think the sale is fine, but it looks like something that would just be in the Outpost shop. Like, this, I could probably find like a handful of different Outpost shipwright sales that look similar to this. So I need to see from Rare, what is the collector's value of this? Why is this an extra level above even just the regular premium sales? And even the regular premium sales, I don't feel like are up to the level it should be. So I think Rare needs to start really thinking about like what these should be. What is the value drawn here? Maybe these, they don't even glow or anything. Like, what is going on with these, honestly? I know I'm kind of tearing into the collector's stuff in this video, but I'm getting a little tired with every single Plunder Pass being identical for the most part, outside of the curse being added this time. But being identical in the sense of you have these collector's versions of stuff that just take up space that could be used for much better cosmetics, and we're not just doing something just to have it pretend like there's extra value in the class. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on the collector's stuff. Do you like the collector's versions of things, or would you rather that just be the main sale for the set and we just get rid of the basic versions? I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on all of that and everything else in the Plunder Pass. Do you like this Plunder Pass? Do you think it's better than last season's? For me personally, I think it's much better. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you like and subscribe. And definitely check out, I made another before you buy video on the new Pirate Emporium daggers that were added. Those are pretty cool. I like those a lot. And we have a lot of other Season 12 videos that are either already out or coming out soon. So definitely check all those out. But that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.